All right. So, welcome on back. So, some more South Park. So, we got some Baja Blast in a can. I was about to say on tap, but that's not true. Oh, yeah, and I figured it out. It's actually pretty simple if you go to the um, really direct way. Also, I'm making a GoFundMe, and I think what I'm going to try to do is raise a bank to pull from. It's still going to go to me, so I'm going to have the money and it's going to be in my bank account getting interest because I don't have a nonprofit yet. And I'm going to start a separate GoFundMe for the nonprofit. Um, and yeah, so but basically, and I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna segment it. Like each GoFundMe is only gonna be a certain amount, and it's gonna be for specific goals and reasons. So like to form the nonprofit communal, and I need to understand, or I need to learn how little I can do because basically the idea of communal is to be a storefront for all of the projects that I want to have fully visible, like complete transparency. And that's the idea of the communal ledger, right? Which is a Google Sheet, which I was vibe coding with Grok, which is hilarious because like a lot of my friends and colleagues are like actual serious coders and stuff. And I'm in IT. Like, I mean, I might write some code, like maybe a couple of lines a year, if that. Like, in fact, even the development environment of one of the things that I was working on, I need to reconnect it with a new computer because like, I retired my old computer that had the access. And I've been so lazy, not lazy, I've been extremely busy actually, but I haven't even done that. So my point being, I'm not a real coder, like I would say. And I would, that's fair. Now, granted, I know some people that code, that they can really code. Now, I'm a hobby coder for sure. Haven't written any code for hobbying either. When I go to my GitHub site, that is not really GitHub in my opinion. That's not like, because like there's like coders that will actually like add some logic or fix a bug or maybe like make something more efficient. Mine, it's just documenting in a website. It's a static website, which I mean, there is a little bit of development, like you got to do the CSS, and I did finally but only open my CSS file once, and that's cascading style sheets for anybody who's not versed in the web development. But web development is really easy to get into. Like you could do a few classes online, free stuff, like freecodecamp.com is where I learned mine. I did some Codecademy, which is great, and like if you have money to pay them, that's great as well. I mean, I would definitely recommend Codecademy if you have money, but a lot of the people I know don't have money. So there you go. And but actually, honestly, freecodecamp.com or .org, sorry. In fact, you got to be careful with that because I just found a malware, not necessarily malware, it's adware or spyware, basically recording what you're doing, which could be potentially bad too. There could be keyloggers and stuff. You never know. I mean, then that would cross into malware, where it's like actually committing a crime. Whereas like spyware is more just like what you doing, like what's your browser history like? Oh, you like these, this, and that, huh? And I think it's hilarious that a lot of people probably have some spyware, and that's where they keep getting all these statistics of like transgender corn is very popular with the right wing. I mean, it's popular with the left wing too. Let's be honest. Like, but like. I mean, in fact, like the left wing is a lot more comfortable with the LGBTQ, and the B in there means that somebody might like one, both, or like in between. So, anyways, did I mention that I don't use a VPN? And the funny thing about that is like, so I was talking to my internet service provider. Oh, oh man, that was lucky. Oh, come on, really? Okay, well, oh. Let's see if I can get a med kit. Yeah, okay. So I do have this. Actually, I do want this. So So yeah, so I got the money on my buddy's books. I mean, we're not buddies. We're not even acquaintances, really. I've never really talked to the guy. I think maybe once or twice at like a party, and that's it. But we're from the same town, so and that's just kind of that communal thing. Is like I'm one of the elders, and he's one of the elders too. But I mean, he's not in the town anymore. But neither am I. So, but it's that BV connection. That plus it's $10. Like I mean. Well, granted, it's like a $3.25 service charge, so that's the prison system ripping you off. But, anyways, and that's one of the things is like with that I need to document and to, pay attention to. Is like so that's something that there's friction there for people like if they're in jail or prison, like there's a racket being run where you know people have to pay out the nose to support the people they love and they care about. Like his family and stuff are probably paying like crazy. He's got kids, like. So yeah, give the guy some $10. Like, I'll probably give him some more money. Like, I'm probably gonna wait till I get paid for more, but I'll probably give him even more than that. Like, I don't know, it depends on how long he's gonna be in there. And he's not in there for anything that bad. Like, I mean, I checked. Like, that was the very first thing I did when I was gonna go put money on his books. Like, if it was like a predatory crime or like a predatory crime against a minor, especially, theft. Theft is like really looked down upon in prison and jails, but it's not really that big of a deal as long as you make up for it. Like, and that's the key thing. Like, theft is an easy one to pay back because you just determine what the person thinks is. Oh, that's like one of my daughter loves favorite character, Mizuki or Mitsu. I don't even know. Like a Niku, doo dee doo. I know that Miku. There we go. I was trying to figure out what it was. What her name was. The name. That's what. Anyways, sorry. I feel like I have to defend myself and explain, but not really. Like, around people that know me, they know that I mean well and I don't ever mean anything too mean. But that's not my intent of communication. Hardly ever. I'll let you know if I want to offend somebody. I'll let them know. Oh, I don't like this as much, but I like it because it's gold. Solid gold is all. Anyways. So that I feel better now because I said I would do that. I was also saying I'd be a pen pal, but it looks like you can just send text messages. And honestly, yeah, and like that's what I'm working on is an online volunteering system where somebody can be remote. And as long as they behave, which, I mean, yeah, he'll be cool. Like, just don't cuss and don't say anything too weird. Like, you're just going to help people set up multi-factor authentication. And it's awesome. Like, I tell you what, like, I have a lot of friends that are, like, snowboard instructors and ski instructors, or they used to be. I got them a few times. Okay. So, anyways, I just know how it is being in jail and like you got nothing to look forward to except for like someone gives you some money, you can get some soups, like some ramens, and I used to eat mine just dry, like, but yeah, it was like such a big deal to get some money on your books, and like same for a phone call, like I mean, like you got to pay for like to talk to your kids and stuff, and see that's really messed up. Is like they gouge prices for oh man, no. And a lot of the communal project is for criminal justice reform, mass criminal justice reform, of the nature of confessional, forgiveness, and acceptance. Like all of these things. It's like, if society feels like it's made whole, then it's made whole. If they don't feel like it's made whole, then they don't feel it. It's like Judge Judy. I mean, although Judge Judy's kind of a ripoff too. Like we don't need all the money tied into it. Like, that's still the punitive, like you're gonna pay for all this and like make it right with money and it's money and money. It's like no. You need the forgiveness, and if there is a dollar amount, a realistic dollar amount. That's the other thing is like, and that's one thing. That's one of my unpopular opinions is like, I don't think Trump should have paid like millions of dollars for sexually harassing that woman. Like, yes, he should have gone to prison for like a year or two, but millions of dollars? Come on. I don't care who you are. Nobody is worth that much money in a sexual lawsuit. Like, I hate, and that is a very unpopular opinion, but come on, that's just nuts. Sorry, like, I mean, and you want people to act like with respect and dignity towards others, you got to show them respect and dignity. Was it like $84 million? And people are going to probably like criticize this, like, oh, he could afford it. Like, that's not the point. If it was me or you, like, I mean, granted, and that's, like, I guess, a couple of things I should kind of just say right now. Like, I do need to ask forgiveness for a couple of ladies because I was a little pervy. Like, and granted, that was back when I was drinking, and I could have any number of excuses, but it doesn't excuse that I didn't show them respect. And, you know, and it's like Dave Chappelle has, like, the love contract, and I think that's such a beautiful concept. Like, I think there should be a love contract in front of every kind of adult interaction. Like, you need to have total consent from both parties, signed, and I mean, not like signed, we don't have to go that far, but it has to be normalized that if you're going to do sussy things with somebody, they better well be on board. And if they're not on board, oh, I almost got them. Almost, but not quite. But if they're not on board, then you can't be doing it. And that's where, like, I need to get some forgiveness. And I did start to talk about it with one lady, but I also was worried about going back to jail. So I was like, I can't talk to you right now about this. Like, so, and she wasn't threatening or anything. Like, but, and I was kind of mean because I wanted it to, and I was going through some stuff too. I think I was like in a mental facility when she brought this on me. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I was on like all these psychotropic drugs and stuff. And I was like, I mean, okay, let's talk about this now. But like, you know, and then there's this lady, Miss Betty, that would just come up and she had like dementia. She kept forgetting things every 10 seconds. But she kept, oh, and see, this is where it gets wild. She kept calling me Joshua, or Yeshua, just to freak out some of my more Christian friends. But Josh was actually the name of, oh, Cora buddies. Joshua was the name of her nephew or something, and like it was a person that she trusted. It wasn't anything about Jesus or anything. But I was calling myself Space Jesus at the time. I was kind of freaking out people intentionally, kind of not. Like, I mean, I didn't really think that I was like the new Messiah, except for I thought I was the new Brian, like the life of Brian, where anybody, any old idiot can get up and talk in front of people. And if you say it correctly, and if it actually benefits the people and makes sense, like mutually assured construction, the idea behind communal, and that's exactly what it is. Like, instead of blowing each other's stuff up and killing each other and fighting all the time, we just get to work and start building a lot of cool stuff together. Like, you know, as one world, just build all sorts of cool stuff. And like, and if the U.S. government blew stuff up, same with the Israeli government or the Russian government or Chinese, not so much. I don't think they've really done anything. Honestly, and that's why I love watching some more Chinese stuff, and like, not to betray my country by any means. If anything, I'm trying to advocate for my country because I love my country. But I am one of the first to admit we are a bipolar AF country. And South Park again for the win. They had the episode, I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll. Oh, I think I got that backwards, but anyway, you get the point. Oh, I got the heartburn. I'm a little bit rock and roll. There you go. There's the Randy. And I think Matt and Trey play the characters. Like, I want to say they still voice them, and they've been doing it for like, God, 30 years? 25? I don't even know. I think it came out Y2K at least. In fact, 97, that's right. It's the Macarena, and when I was in Nevada. All of that. That was an interesting, pivotal year, actually. Because that was the first year I was not in Colorado, and the only year I was not in Colorado. Every other year, I've been around here. You might not know it, but I've been. And actually, over the years, many different groups of people have known it too. But like, honestly, like, I mean, this dude, he's off in like a whole nother state, and like, I mean, I got one buddy that's coming out of a Colorado prison soon. I'm not sure when, but he's going to be one of the first on the list. And like, I have it set up to where I'll have like multiple tiers of volunteers, like multiple rounds of them. The first round is going to be like high school students, Allegedly. I mean, we'll see. But because like it's just the global online safety project, and if I can get the people from Napoleon Dynamite to let me use gauche and be like a Napoleon Dynamite thing, that's the jam. Because I know a lot of people that love Napoleon Dynamite, and that is the target group that I want to kind of advertise to. And this is a nonprofit volunteer thing. I'm not getting anything out of this except for resume stuff, of course. But like, and that's what a lot of these people will do. But then also, if I can get a tech company or just any tech or any company, if I can raise funds through the GoFundMe to donate like X amount of dollars per hour per volunteer and just set a cap myself, then I don't really need to rely on anyone and just do the program myself. And that's kind of the idea. Ooh, I got a car. Several buried chests. Yes. Sunday driver, Jimmy Bulmer. I mean, come on. And I'm not mocking him because he's disabled. Like I think that's terrible, and I think anybody that like Walter White in Breaking Bad, like almost busting that guy's leg. Like, so I would never say that to an actual handicapped person. In fact, and I feel guilty even having to justify that right there too, because I got to assume that like, you know, certain people in my life are going to see that and be like, why'd you say that? That was pretty messed up. So, is this a smart move? Oh, it worked. Try not to use too much gas. I wish those things would refill the gas. It's like revitalize. Okay, now I gotta go. Whee! Uh-oh. They've really enjoyed doing this. Yeah, it's down there. Colorado Hammer. Almost. So, and also do a GoFundMe for just like putting money on people's books, like, you know, organizing networks for like, hey, these people might have done X, Y, and Z. And in fact, I think there's, so the Alaskan Avengers, see, now I have no fuel. I don't think I'll make this. There we go. Oh, smacked him one. No, just take me out. Anyways. Whew. Let us play a game. So anyways, the volunteers will get resume recognition. Wave 1 will be high school students. Wave 2 will be community corrections type folks. And I guess wave 3 will be whatever. But the initial wave will be just like, well, not just high school students. I'm going to have a few IT colleagues, but a few of them are polished and refined and like already ready to go. No real explanation needed. Like they currently work for somewhere that's reputable. So, you know, they kind of pass the vibe check with that. So they are at least currently not messing up. However, oh, I love this outfit. That was so cool. There's like graffiti on it and stuff. It was like a cozy looking outfit too. Anyways. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I pictured some of my ex-girlfriends wearing that. So anyways, trying to talk to a few of them too. And that's the kind of funny thing is like now that I'm single and like wanting to be like having like multiple wives, like the possibilities are endless, but the chances are actually most likely that nothing's going to happen. Maybe one. Probably, I mean, maybe two. Probably not five. But maybe 2 or 3, and then like maybe a couple husbands mixed in there too. It's like a community thing. Communal. Anyways. Oh, I shot the Peely. Oh, that's a fun game to play, the prop hunt. They just change into a prop and then you try to hide and then they have to hunt you. Oh yeah, you gotta hang 10. Whee! Oh, you can go this way. Whee! Earn sidekick points with tallies. Okay. Alright, I just gotta keep playing. I don't even know what the quests are. I don't think I have anything specific. And one of my friends actually gave me a Wu-Tang shirt with the Colorado flag in it. But it was the Wu-Tang symbol with the Colorado flag filler. And then there's like 2013, I think. So it looked like I was a Sedenio because they do the 13 and all that. And like, you know, that's like their sacred number. They're like calling a card. And it's like, and then Norteño's 14, 14. Sorry, I don't think there's any trade secrets, but like, there's just kind of like, you know. Anyways, maybe that is a trade secret. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter. Like, the thing is like, with communal and the restorative justice model, all gangs are going to be united in that peace. That's it. Just peace. It's going to be beautiful. And how do I know this? Because go figure, if you stop locking people up and causing them financial ruin and making them pay 30% taxes on money deposited. Just kidding. But like, and I've been there too. Like I said, I mean, like getting money on your books is really a big deal. A big deal. And I wasn't even there that long. I think this dude's been there since November at least. November, December, January. Like, yeah, that's you know, and you know, little bits like that help. So I should try to find if I can send him a text message or something. But anyways, yeah, like I said, he's like in a faraway state too. Like, I mean, so it's not like he even has. I had to go visit him if he was closer, and I'm still trying to visit a buddy in Texas. So yeah, I got to raise money for myself. But oh, that was actually an idea I had. So what I think I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna put my PayPal at the end of the ledger, and in the ledger, I'm gonna have the dollar amounts of the people that I owe money to, because there are a couple, and the dollar amount, and then. I mean, I'm talking like of all time. Like some of these people might not even be alive anymore, which is the kind of messed up thing. Like I reached out to a family member of one because like I owed him for just a, you know, something, like tree fitty. I need about tree fitty. Actually, I need about tree fitty. Oh my God. So I am the Loch Ness monster, but instead of doing that, I'm going to have a thing that says Tree Fitty. So fitting with South Park. And then that's going to be my first debt that I owed to somebody that basically I got an ounce of bud and I ran off. I didn't pay him. That's it. It was so stupid because we lived in the same town. Like, it's like he knows where it's so stupid. Like, you can't get away with it. Like, but I did, and people respected me enough to not pursue it, except for one of the family members tried to, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, and I suspect that some of the other things were retaliation. Like, I think somebody punked me because I punked them, and they just passed on the punking. It's basically what it is. And prison justice would say that I need to pay that person back with interest, or they get to hit me or something. I don't know. It's got to be made like, it's not just the money. It's like, how will they feel? And a lot of times they don't actually hit you or take any interest. It's just like, or maybe they might take interest if they really feeling sour about it. But really, they just want to know that you feel bad about it and you're in a bad place. And a lot of times they don't even want the money. Like, and that's the thing is like, I'm also thinking about documenting the debts towards me that people owe me, which that's in the thousands. But again, it's not all legitimate money. But then again, I was never in it for the money. Like, I never made tons of money. That's why, like, cops didn't have a problem with me. They're like, he's not doing anything. I mean, I was so low-key off the radar, but it was like a model of, it was Ubuntu, actually. So that's an African term where it means for us, or like, I am because we are. And it's a message in unity. And I was doing similar things with my hippy-dippy friends in high school that we would make it to where everybody would thrive. And that zip that I didn't pay back, like, well, first off, I sold most of it, and like, and I was gonna give them the money, but like, I was like broke, needed gas money, like, rent was crazy, and like, I had to pay like $800 for, it was like $300 just for propane, and then, propane, I sell propane and propane accessories, I'll sell anyways, but no, I don't, but, that's not what, I thought that was like an enemy. But anyways, what was I talking about? I'm gonna be doing that a lot. But no, like, I never tried to get rich off of my friends and stuff. I was always upfront with them. I'd say, hey, this costs this much. This is how much I got. What do you got? And then they'd be like, well, I got this. I'm like, all right, cool. We can make this happen. And that's it. That's it. That's as far as it ever has to go. Like, I never wanted to make an empire. I just knew people that knew people. And that's just, yeah. That's how it should be. Bartering systems and stuff. And trust, too. Oh, the trust. Because, if there's a weak link in that chain, it could be very detrimental to everybody involved. So, and then the communal embarrassment too, like, oh my gosh, those hoodlums up there in the mountains are doing such terrible things. Like, oh no. Well, now you can go down, and a tree fitty will get you about 3 ounces and a good tip for the person. But you can't buy more than an ounce in a day, so there's a safety guard. Oh. Okay, I do not want to mess with him. What do we got here? Okay. So anyway, keep forgetting what we're talking about, but basically, like, I would list out the debts owed and the debts to be received, and I forgive too. Like, I mean, I don't expect to see any of that money back, but I'm just not going to forget. Like, it's there. It cost me problems, or it caused me problems. I had to pivot or just miss out on opportunities because funds weren't available that were supposed to be there. And, because people are weak links. Like, possibly trying to put money on someone else's books and then they charge a bunch of... No, I'm just kidding. But that is part of it. Like, I mean, price gouging from other entities and situations. Like, and you already have to pay a lot more money to get away with, like, using substances, self-medicating, buying, selling, trading substances. Like the whole point of the black market is it is illegal. Like, I mean, and so, like, and saying that you shouldn't do it is just stupid at this point, because, Like the president himself, and flanked with a bunch of doctors and medical professionals, all shook their heads in unison and said, "Yep, weed can be beneficial medically." That's what we've known since the 70s. Like, you're just now figuring this out? Like, dummy. Like, and it's not just me, it's everybody. Like, literally everybody on Comedy Central is like, yeah, dummy, weed's not that big of a deal. And then really everything else isn't that either. Now, crack is pretty bad. Meth is terrible. Opiates of any kind, I think those have just always stayed away from, because those are the super addictive, like, those are the, do XYZ for that. Like, Bob Saget used to be really grungy and, like, all that. But it was great because like, I didn't know that side about him, and then once I saw like the Farce of the Penguins and some stuff like that, I was like, "Dang, Bob Saget can get down!" And that's just the kind of funny thing about comedians. It's several buried chests. So I mean, once we like drop the act that drugs are bad, okay, it's everything in moderation, and Mr. Mackey sings a song about it. It's easy, okay. Actually, I think he's like talking about like swearing, because that's the big thing. Like Canada has like Terrence and Phillip, and they swear a lot, and it's supposed to be like, referencing to South Park, doing a bunch of potty humor and saying jokes and stuff, when really nobody's getting hurt. And even joking about like Jewish people joking about Jewish people and stuff that you can't say unless you're in front of people that know you very well and know that you're not saying it out of hate, that you're saying it out of love and jest. And just like me, like I'm white trash as all get out. I am like the Kenny, just without the death fatality thing, but like I'm between Kenny and Stan. I mean, because I had a decent upbringing, I had a decent house. We didn't live in a trailer park. I did live in a trailer briefly before I went to college. Like I spent a year there, again, paying $500 for rent. My buddy bailed on me, and I was supposed to have a roommate. We were going to live together and then split the $500, $250 each, and I was making $16 an hour working construction, which is actually really good. I mean, normal jobs were paying like anywhere between like $5 to $8 an hour, and construction was just like, well, I mean, construction. So, but I think I was actually making like $750. I want to say $515 was the lowest I ever made. And that's when I first started working at the burger joint, and I was like, the little grill, so I was only grilling like hot dog buns and Texas toast, and they didn't like, I wasn't responsible for like the burgers and like actual meat and stuff that mattered if I cooked it right. The worst thing was like, oh, this bun's a little burnt, or oh, this bun's not cooked enough, which like the fact that you're cooking the bun at all is kind of a little weird for some people. So, oh, there we go. He had a good aim with that thing. All right, where are we at with time? All right. Let's actually call it there. Let's do another, but I think I'm going to step out again. Actually, wait. I'm going to do a GoFundMe, and then I'm going to do some communal ledger, and then I'm going to start posting this, and then I'll be back. So let's return to lobby, but I will be back and do another episode very shortly. Ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one. And then be on the lookout. Like, by the time you watch this, we're going to have... Oh, crud. Now I got to blink that out. All right, ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one. And then, yeah, be looking for the links. Don't stalk my kids' friends. That's actually my friend, but, like, well, don't stalk my friends either. But, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Never mind. You can stalk away, but actually don't, because the feds are watching this, and they're going to pay attention to what you do, because they know who you are. Woo, blah. I'm just kidding. But don't, seriously. I will hurt you. Anyways, look for the link to donate. If you want me to have some money, there you go. But please, 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 for the love of all that is holy, do not, if you cannot. I am not hurting for money. This would just be extra stuff. And I'd like buy new microphones and new equipment to do this stuff, or new games for me or my kids. So yeah, that's a different thing. Now the communal stuff, that, that's even fine. Like, and I think part of that would be putting money on people's books just to give them a little hope, and then not necessarily pressure them into working for communal, but offering them the opportunity if they want to, but no worries if they don't want to. And I think that needs to be said, is because like it can't be pressured, it can't be forced. It has to be something that they want to do. And if it's not their jam, it's not their jam, and that's fine. A little bit of money on the books is fine anyway. It's the same with missionaries, like trying to like spread the word with Jesus, and actually this is kind of the work that Jesus would approve of, but there's no Jesus involved. In fact, a lot of times Jesus has left the building a long time ago. So it's fine. I'm not all that religious myself. I just, err on the side of caution. Like if Jesus does come back and it's like, oh crud, this is going to be awkward if I did a bunch of weird stuff. And now it's funny because it's not Jesus, it's the internet. The internet knows when you do stuff. It's like a small town, much like South Park. And I think that's why it's so funny because, like, the middle of nowhere, like, nothing really happens except for everything happens. And that is really the thing. Like, I mean, we've seen some aliens, we've seen some crazy stuff. Like, so, anyways, ta ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.